Alright guys, welcome to the 24-hour immersion here in Harrisburg. Actually, full disclosure, it's going to be 20 hours because some of you guys obviously have to go home a little bit earlier. This is right by the bus station where homeless people hang out. If they ask what you're doing or if you're really homeless, just be honest, tell them what you're doing and that you really just want to love them and you want to be amongst them. Just to break down a little bit of why we exist as an organization, Break and Transform International. We believe that true leadership is influence, and influence really comes by immersing into the pain of others. But even just this one step, this one day, is going to give you a voice in the people's lives you meet tonight that you wouldn't otherwise have.
I'm Sarah Huffy. I'm a server at 2 different restaurants, and I also am a security guard. Woo!
Hello, I'm Josiah Rainier. I love music and art. I work for a coin wrapping company, and I also am involved with leadership development and personal growth.
I'm Cassandra McNew. I work full-time at a community action organization working with people who live in poverty every day. And I work that closely with them and barely know really what their life is actually like, so I'm hoping to find out a little bit more from this even.
The reason I'm doing this is
build relationship, be their friend, someone they can talk to.
Put my whole life into them for a whole day.
And show them how amazing they really are.
Just love on them when other people don't give them the time of day.
Immerse myself.
Just want to find out who the people are.
Get to understand what a homeless person has to go through on a day-to-day basis.
Because I think we can all just think like, oh, it would be hard to find food or find housing, but how many of us have really gone through it?
You know, I've done a little bit before, you know, just kind of hanging out with them. I think it's going to take it to another level. So this is our first encounter with a guy who chooses to stay anonymous. He was a nice guy to talk to, and we just got to bless him with our ears.
We were able to just have an open heart and just listen to him. Didn't have to respond in any certain way and didn't get scared by whatever he said.
I really did just like listening to him. It was cool like that the same things that are important to him are important to us too. Like just really sitting and watching the sunset, like, and how it was so beautiful to him and how he talked about just the beautiful sunsets that he experiences sitting by the river. It just hit me that when he said that he doesn't think God forgives him for like the stuff that he already did. It blew my mind to know like how much love God has for you. I just hope that he knows that God loves him a whole bunch.
This is our first food. So we got pudding and sandwiches.
And some blankets.
Oh yeah.
It's just really cool just sitting down and talking with the people. Cassandra and I talked with this guy named Bob for a while. The changes he made, he could have stayed like in his drug problem and been perfectly fine in a house, in a place, but he chose to get out of that and be homeless and to be clean. He said he could go back to that at any point, and he said, I don't want to. A lot of people say homeless people have no hope, but I seen the hope in him.
I talked to a guy, Ed. Ed just really talked a lot about how he misses his daughter, and he saw her for the first time in like 12 years since she was like 2 years old. He saved up lots of money, you know, to go down and see her and stuff, and she lives in Texas. I just can't imagine like, you know, him trying to save up that much money to like actually go see his daughter.
It's just really cool the love that they really do have that people I don't think really notice that about them.
And he just kept telling me, you know, you got to think about what you would do if like you lost everything. What would you do? It just kind of caused me to think.
It's kind of like we're like rookies on the street and everyone's kind of like making sure we're taken care of.
Some of the homeless people are the nicest people I've talked to in a long time. Hello everyone. We are setting up our bed for the nighttime. We are lucky we found a bunch of cardboard. You can see Josiah's laying it down on the ground. We saw a couple other people doing this. We're kind of in a building that's off to the side, and we have some lovely blankets to help us out, and we scored some foam for some pillows that is really soft.
Hey, what's up guys? We had a pretty interesting start here to our sleeping arrangements. 2 young guys want to take pictures sleeping next to us. Anyways, Good night.
Good morning.
Tried to sleep, didn't really sleep. Ready for a new day to start.
It's different to sleep and not have really a comfortable position to sleep in.
Cold, pain, noise.
This is what a homeless person has to go through every day. You don't usually hear them complain that much.
So this morning we woke up bright and early and we went down to go to the bathroom and
Had a little bit of bathroom issues.
it was a weird experience again, like just getting like half kicked out of something.
Go into a public place and you just can't even use the bathroom.
When like the woman like confronted us, I even felt like I needed to defend myself, but I had nothing to say because everything she was saying was true. Like, I'm not a paying customer. Like, I had to defend my own like normal actions and I didn't even know how to do that. It was like I have no rights.
We had an interesting encounter last night with this lady that came up to us. Like, she opened up completely. She had been raped and this guy had been let out. For me, it hurt my heart just to see that this lady couldn't do anything about it and she was scared.
Last night we got a chance to hang out with some people. They knew the area, they knew like the people, the regulars. And there was actually a girl that was, we're pretty sure she was a prostitute. They were like talking about how they bring her down here because she gets more money down here because the men are richer. And it was just hurtful to see like homeless people, prostitutes, everything, like they have so much value and they don't even know it. It hurts to just see like that people treat them just like that bad and look at them like they're so much different than us.
There's a real feeling of like abandonment. I guess I have gotten in touch with that feeling a little bit. What would it be like if you weren't wanted?
It took my breath away really. Like I was like, these people are so amazing. I just stood there in awe of like them making sure like we had things and worried about where we're gonna stay and stay where there's cameras and stay where it's safe. I really just wanted to like, do you know your value too, and you should be secure and you should be staying by cameras and you should just be safe too. You're just as amazing as you think I am, so it was cool to share that.
We met this guy named Isaac that told us there's a food place down here where we could go, so we're trying to follow him. Here's a place where our friend Isaac told us that we could get food. We ended up eating some spaghetti and meatball, fried potatoes.
What was a big shocker to me was after this guy got a plateful and like he immediately pulled out containers to put it in there, and he didn't really eat much of it. As they called for seconds, he went up again and again just grabbed a container. Like, he wasn't worried about now, like he was worried about later.
And the guy's like stocking up on his food and Isaac was saying like, don't eat to get full here, you just eat because like that's what you have to do to get your nutrition. Dude, I remember asking him like, what's your favorite kind of food, Isaac? And he's like, you don't have a favorite here, it's just like whatever they give you. It just hurt a little bit because like when I want a pizza, I go get a pizza. When I want a taco, I'll get a taco. You just eat what they give you, you don't have a choice.
All right, here come our 3 participants right now. How was it, guys?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty wild.
It was just amazing how they like welcomed us in.
Right away, without us, telling or asking, they just wanted us to be a part of what they were doing.
And it wasn't even like anything was like awkward between us. Like, they were just like, here's my light. It was so cool.
It really gives you a different viewpoint. Like, they're the same as you and I.
As at first when we came out, we were like, all right, where are the homeless people? Where are they at? What do they look like? What do we find? And then after a little bit, we just started walking and just like noticing people for who they were first and not like necessarily looking for a homeless person.
Just understanding who they are as a person. I'm not going to be afraid to walk up to somebody and just sit down and be like, how's your day? I want to continually do this in my life.
Like, the whole experience just humbled me a lot. Also walking away with like understanding the feeling of rejection and what it feels like to be abandoned and not wanted. That's a different feeling to have when when people don't really want to talk with you because we're sleeping out on the streets.
Like, who am I to be judgmental of who they are? Why should we treat them any different?
This is how they live, and they seem to be some of the most happy and most giving people.
And I loved how the homeless people loved us.
They were wanting to make sure that we were okay because they knew that we were the new guys on the block, have this pride about me, like, oh yeah, okay, well I got things to give and I can bless other people, but here, homeless people are blessing me. And it just totally changed my mind to like, wow, you know, how much in the little or the great that I have that I need to give and bless others.
Love comes in every shape and size, and they might not have somebody say, man, you're beautiful, like God values you, and just, you know, you're my friend, and like, can I give you a hug, or just a simple handshake. They get people throwing stuff at them or calling them bad names, and most of the time they didn't do anything to deserve that.
I feel like I'm a little more understanding, like instead of trying to like find their solution, be with them in their troubles instead of just trying to rush over it and like think of a solution.
All I have to give is me, and like who I am, and just my person in itself, and my smile and my ear. That's all I have to give to them, and that was all that they wanted.
Because that's all you need is that little seed drop. If they see that you believe that they're that, then I think that they'll start to believe it themselves.